Happy How-To Day, Broknex. Today we're going to install some halos on the 2017 Can-Am Renegade 1000. Apparently it's different than the last one I did on the 11, and so this is it. We'll see if I can duplicate what I did on a much newer beast. So let's get into it. Okay, step one, we're going to remove the plastics. Well, not all of them. We're going to take off the hood plastics. I have no idea if the snorkel has to come off. But we need to get back into the headlights. There's bolts back here we need to undo to pull these headlights back. We need to undo these. You can't even see what I'm pointing at, can you? I'm like so far. We need to undo these. Why is it sticky? We need to undo these and pull this away and get in here. So all that should be relatively easy. Those, oh, thank you, Squatch. We need to undo these. There's a screw here, bolts under here, you know. So I can't do it without my Squatch helper. So when it's cold, like it is here in Alaska, and you're taking your body panels off, be very careful because they're brittle. So I had this inside warming up for what, a good 10 minutes? Should be good, right? Okay, so now we're at these, which are Torx. You've got a T30 here. It would help if I had a wrench back here holding on. There we go. That's how it's supposed to be. We've got a 10 mil nut on the back side. And do the same thing with this one right up here in the front. Now, if I remember right, you don't have to pull it all the way off, but you do have to pull it out enough to get some wrenches back here and to tuck some wires up and through underneath. This one will be a little more different. This one will be a little more difficult than the 11 because all the newer ones, all the Gen 2s seem to have this. Well, maybe not all the Gen 2s, but all the new XMRs got this funny roll bar thing. Now they have this housing separated. This bracket here, there's some screws here and some screws, hopefully not behind the radiator. There's a screw right up into here, and I'll find the rest. But once those are gone, then the headlights will move around a lot better. Get the screws out of that bracket, then it's easy to swing the headlight away. And then when you do, once you get the headlight swung away, let's see if I can hold the camera and the flashlight. So there's a bunch of screws around here, around these headlights, that'll move this bezel away from the inside so you can tuck the wires up underneath. Oh, look at that. Squatch came in to give me a hand. So once these screws are removed, then this will move away and we can tuck the wires up and in. Okay, see if I can get in here with the camera. So once these four screws, there's four screws around here, one there, there's four on each headlight. Once those are removed, now the headlight can be moved away. And of course this is an XMR, the M stands for mud. Once we have these screws removed, boy, it is really hard to see in here with the GoPro. So there's four of them in here. Once it's off the bracket, kind of pulled away, there's another screw down here that you can't really get to that holds this whole thing on in place. But that's okay. We don't need to take it off. We just need to move it. And then loosen things so we can jockey. And you see this gap that forms right here. And this gap stays, and that's perfect for tucking the wires in. So I'm going to hand this to Squatch. And, you know, luckily they give you itsy bitsy tiny itty bitty wires for your halos. I don't know if they can see moving up low. There we go. See, these wires are coming in now. Now we got the wires tucked. Okay, we'll move around to the front. I'll take the light here. So now we have our halos, well, one halo, in place, and the wires tucked up, ready to be run over for power. Do this one, same thing. I'll loosen those 4 screws, and the wires get tucked up. You can kind of see where they get tucked up there. This one, there's a gap here. You can see where it gets tucked up there. Ooh, that might have been reflected. See the gap that that one will come out of. And just like that, boys and girls. Okay, we got both of them strung on this side. Both wires up and over. And so now the plastic that's around where the halo goes, need to clean that off really well, and we'll fill the backside with clear silicone and glue them in place. Okay, got a bead. Make sure it's clear on the inside. Hold it in place for a minute or so. Now these are a little different from the last ones I did. These seem to have a little gap. So I'm putting a little bit of a taller bead. Make sure they're glued on good. Make sure there's nothing in the center. Nice. Hold them in place for a minute or so. Put that adhesive stick. Those stuck. Now with those glued in place, I can start putting the screws back in here. Every now and then I'm going back just to make sure those are tight. This one, on this one, this inside headlight, I only had to loosen one screw. That's this top corner one here, so I could split this gap. There's a gap right here where the wires are coming. Man, this is really tight working quarters. Okay, all those screws are now back in place. I have no idea what you saw, if you just saw the back of my bald head or what. But, job well done. Half a job well done. Okay, so once you got them all lined up, there's a polarized plug that goes on here. This is, I'm not too sure what that is, but in the instructions they say don't cut it off, so don't cut it off. Get these plugged into here. Can only go in one way. And then we'll tuck these. We'll do some zip tying to make sure everything's all neat, nice and neat and clean. And they will run up into here. Anyone ever wonder what's inside of this cool little XMR alien head? Let's take a peek. Hey! It's tubes. 4 tubes. As small as that is, you'd have thought they'd have made this a little smaller. Now we've moved on to this side. I'm going to, once again, this screw, the 3 back here, and then this whole thing should pop forward enough to get into, and then I can get back and do a few of the Phillips screws on each one of these. One thing I didn't mention the last time I did this, or on the other side, was it's so much easier if you take the headlight bulbs out. It just gives you that much more room. Just don't bump them or knock them around or touch them or any of that happy horse hockey when you're working on it.
This is what Derek spotted.
Power? You don't need power.
No, I know, but it's the speed.
You don't even need
efficiency.
speed. Speed's not good. These are all nylocks and stuff. You'll melt them together and wind up breaking these things.
Man, that's how you do it.
Well, breaking is how I do it. I'm good at breaking them. Then you got this real pain in the neck one. You need someone with really weird shaped hands and extra knuckles on their fingers to get in here.
I think Sean's fits the bill.
Sean, you got bendy backwards.
But it's nice because you can hold it with fingers and just, you know,
Sure.
tear the skin off.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll pinch your fingers right inside here and remove flesh. You can almost feel. Oh, I think I got it. Okay, once again on this side, it's the same thing. There's a screw here, and up there, there's another one of those up there. Once those three are off, the headlight assembly is freed from this bracket right here, which is attached way too far in there to even worry about. So just disconnect it from this bracket, and life will be so much better. Of course, with those out, once again, you can tell that somebody took this mud machine mudding. Huh. Why would anybody want to do that? Although, I think I figured out what XMR stands for. Extra maintenance required.
And it's for money.
Oh, money? Oh, extra money required, XMR. So here's those Phillips screws, just like on the other side. So this one is the only one you need to release on the inside one, and you can definitely move it far enough to get the fitting through here. And on the outside one, you have to undo at least three of them. This one, and this one. I believe there's a total of 4 or 5 on there, but you only have to do 3 of them. And then this will move far enough away to get the wires through here. All right, one thing to watch out for. I took the old light bulb out. I don't know if you can see that. It's a slightly misshapen. Oh, there we go. Look at that. A misshapen bulb. Oh, it still worked, but I don't think it would have worked for much longer. Throw a new one in it and call it good. Okay, and then once again for this, we have cleaned the underside here where we're going to glue these two. We're going to put a nice, decent bead of clear silicone that came with the kit all the way around. Being very careful not to get it on the inside so it doesn't get on the lens. I picked the easy job. He's changing a light bulb. Ridiculous. Apply nice constant pressure for a while and repeat the same process for this side. Alright, so we got it all wired up. Ran the wires up through the center, drilled a hole in the snorkel thing and put the toggle switch in there, and here we go. Now we have halos. So for the continuation, after you have all these installed, you can see the other video on how to put it all back together and how to wire it. Yeah, we're not drinking. That's why it's not going to work. All right, so that's how you halo part 2. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
I did all the work. And don't forget to hit that notification button so that you get notified when you get the next video.
You know there's no buttons anywhere?
Click on the bell.
Well, that's it. Let's get it the heck out of here.